I know it's been a long time, but ladies and gentlemen, we are back full of energy, full of new experiences, full of new topics, and we're going to break it down on the Pin Zone. This video is going to be called Illinois versus Indiana, the battle of the Chicago Bears. We're getting into it live here right after this, baby. Stay tuned. So much to talk about today. So many things are going down as we speak. I am your host. My name is Pin. Welcome to the Pin Zone. Man, it's been a minute since we did a live. I'm not going to lie to you. It's been a full minute, bro. I ain't going to lie to you. But we're excited to be back. We're excited to be here. PBG, thank you for being the first one in the chat. I knew you would. We're not like branching out for too many people. You know what I'm saying? Whoever comes in, comes in. But I did send a couple messages to close to the closest of the close, you know what I mean? Just to give a, you know what I'm saying, we back, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be an everyday thing. It's going to be, the goal is to be here weekly to discuss topics of sports, movies, whatever the horizon brings us, and I want you guys to be a part of the content and to buckle up and be in for the ride. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about this Bears versus Illinois Indiana saga. We're gonna break down a lot of things. We're gonna start with Arlington Heights. I have a video. I have an audio that I'm going to play about what went down. I was with my boy Il Divino Vega on the Chop Shot, and I broke down Arlington Heights' point of view of the Chicago Bears and what's holding them back, and why Indiana has become a threat. So let's tune in. Let's take a listen together and see what was said there on that podcast. Here's one thing we all got to make clear. The Bears want to be in Arlington Heights. That is their preferred destination. All right?
Right.
Everything is in the hands of Springfield right now.
Right.
All this negotiation stuff, why they've been going back and forth, the Wyoming Lakers. Yo.
Crazy, Doug.
All this negotiation, they're going Chicago, Arlington Heights, Indiana. The whole reason is down to property tax, bro.
Right.
That's all this boils down to. It boils down to, will it be affordable for them to stay in Arlington Heights? All right. If you're people think it's about like tax certainties. It's not about tax certainties. All right. According to the mayor of Arlington Heights, that's Jim Tenaglia. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but according to the mayor, it's not about tax certainty.
Right.
If you're a commercial building owner, you get 7.5% tax. If you're a homeowner, which it's still tax certainty, you get 2.5%. Right.
Right.
If you spend $1 million on a home, you best be ready to pay $25K on taxes. Right. Do we all make sense so far? Easy work. All right.
Easy work.
The problem is that property tax doesn't apply to $4 billion investments. You know what I mean? If it was just 2%, that's $100 million right there. If it was 7.5%, that's $375 million a year.
Money.
Nobody can afford that. I don't care how rich you are. No one could afford that type of taxes on a yearly basis. So the Bears want to know how much it'll cost owning a private $4 billion stadium in Arlington Heights. All right.
Right.
The residents will not pay taxes for the stadium. That is clear.
Yeah. Right.
So taxes will not go up because of the stadium. All right.
Right.
So we thought. Here's some examples. All right. How much do the Bears pay Soldier Field and property tax? Do you know?
Right now?
Yep. Right now.
No, I don't know the number.
0. It's a park district. They don't even own it. All right.
Right.
The United Center, they pay $6 million in property tax. Wrigley Field, $2.7 million in property tax.
Right.
The White Sox Stadium, that's another park district right there. So they pay 0 taxes. Now, let's go to a place where you can relate to. Let's talk about SoFi Stadium, where the Super Bowl's happening, right?
That's right.
In San Francisco. That stadium, they pay $8.8 million a year in property tax. That's a $3 billion stadium they have. The racetrack that they bought in Arlington Heights, a la Turkey and them. Yeah, they might, but I don't think they pay $325 a year. Always my boy. Ain't no way they're gonna be like, that makes sense. Ain't no one gonna be like verbally agree to that junk. That's where we're at right now, right? SoFi Stadium got the $8.8 million they're paying right now currently in California. The Bears bought that property. It's like over 300 acres. That used to be the racetrack.
Right.
That property tax is $3 million, right?
Right.
The day the Bears signed to buy that land, they raised it to $16 million a year.
Wow.
This is where the issues are constantly happening.
That's that dirty Illinois Chicago politics.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's that dirty Illinois Chicago politics.
Hey, he said it, man. He said it. That is 100% facts, man. Like, to go from the racetrack originally $3 million in taxes, and the Bears buy it and sign the dotted line, they're like 16.7. That's insane. That's insane, man. Like, it shouldn't go up because how much your business is worth. Tax should be taxed. Like, it should be consistent. You know what I mean? So that's wild to me. Let's continue.
6.
Yes. The Bears said they're willing to pay $10 million a year, bro. They said we're willing to pay $10 million. That's $2 more million than what San Francisco's paying for their new stadium. That's 2 more. 2 more. You know, I think the Bears are trying to, you know, they're still trying to show love to the state. Like, we're still trying to pay y'all. That's more than SoFi where the Super Bowl's being held, because we want to host Super Bowls here too.
Right.
So we'll pay $10 million a year in property taxes, and we'll make it a private property as well too. Right. So it'll help the community. You just got to worry about the safety and the routes and all. You got to figure all that stuff out at the end of the day. Chicago is not capable of a state-of-the-art stadium right now. There's no room for it.
No, there's no room.
There's no where you gonna build it at?
Right.
Because it's not just a stadium. You got to think about parking now.
Well, you know what? There was this there was this
you heard me when I said Look.
I was watching this video.
Yeah.
I
knew where he was going with. He's going to talk about the steel factories in Chicago that all got closed down, and they were going to tear all that down to build a new stadium. But a football, he's going to say there's a football stadium, like a soccer stadium, because they don't have the room for a state-of-the-art football stadium. Yeah, that's the key words right there. State of the art. We're talking about creme de la creme, the top notch, one of the best stadiums the planet has. That's what the Bears are going for. So that small little thing that could fit a soccer fans will not fit NCAA tournament fans, will not fit Super Bowl fans, maybe WrestleMania fans. That's about it though. Not the big times. Let's continue.
Remembered, but there's certain plots of land, or like not plots of land, but like land or district, whatever, in Chicago, that it's no longer being, it's like it used to be like the steel, where the
steel used to be.
Yeah, the steel factories used to be. So that are now all torn down.
That's not enough room though. It's not.
Well, they said it.
I knew where he was going with it,
but the problem is they're debate, or not. I don't know if it's debating or discussing or whatever, but what they actually want to do with that property. There's they have all these different like ideas for it.
Right.
The stadium was one of them, but the problem is also I think that they're discussing about making it a football stadium.
They want to make. Yeah, but they want to make it like Wrigley.
But you just hear what I said.
I hear what you said.
They're discussing about making it a football stadium.
Yeah, football. Go. That's about the capacity that it could be. It can't fit an NFL stadium. Imagine the Super Bowl in downtown. Yeah. How is that gonna work? You know what I'm saying? Like they just don't have the room for it. Real talk. And now to the Indiana aspect of it, right? Listen. Indiana said they're willing to pay for the land.
Look at that.
They're willing to help pay for the stadium, and they'll make it the lowest tax stadium in football.
What is going on? What?
So that's why it could be a real thing right there, bro. This source I'm talking about comes from the mayor of Arlington Heights. His words itself. He says, I don't have a problem dealing with the Bears. It's Springfield that's holding everything back. It's Springfield that is holding everything back. We knew this for a while now, and now things are starting to get the ball rolling for Indiana, man. They are making serious proposals. And there was 2 more interviews, one yesterday from the mayor of Portage, Indiana. They are the super dark horses of this all. His name is Mayor Austin Bonita. Or Bonage. I don't know the name. I'm not good at reading. I'm just saying. The mayor of Portage, Indiana. He had an interview with Carmen and Yurko, the good kid on ESPN Chicago, and he talked a little bit more about the stadium. The Bears are aware of the proposal, and they are currently studying the proposal that Portage offered. The stadium will be privately financed. It won't cost anything of the taxpayers, they say. And then they want to talk about who's going to own the building. And I think Carmen asked the question of who's going to own the building for the Chicago Bears. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
In our proposal, it is either the what do you call it, the City of Portage Redevelopment Commission through this deal, could be the state. But if the Bears say, hey, we want to own it and we need to rework it, we can rework it with them. But our upfront plan was for it to be financially built on city-owned land. That way it doesn't pay any taxes.
And this city-owned land, so they don't have to pay any taxes for the residents of Portage, Indiana. That they have 300 acres ready to shovel, just like Arlington Heights. It's about a 50-minute drive from downtown Chicago. You got highways that can get you there. You got the train that can get you there. I believe it's the South Shore Line. And then you can also take boat to Portage, Indiana. You can also take a boat to Portage, Indiana to get to where the stadium could be, and maybe even a ferry similar to how New York has it that can transport you from Indiana, Portage, Indiana, all the way to downtown Chicago. These guys are making some crazy offers that it's starting to make sense. Not only that, they want to pay for the stadium. I know I can say how much they're willing to pay. Let me show you. Let's listen to what the mayor of Portage offered in that proposal on the cost of the stadium. Take a listen.
Cost of the actual stadium?
Yes.
Altogether, we've got what we propose is a $5 billion deal with a $2 billion sinking fund. So ultimately, if the Bears go with the proposal that we've put together, it would come to being a $7 billion deal.
They control what happens in that stadium. Who's it? I mean, revenue. How much of it goes to them? Concerts,
March
all that
Madness.
stuff. Like, what are the other? What else gets the Bears' ears to perk up other than you guys saying, here, we've got $7 billion carved out and you can build? From a financial standpoint, how is it attractive to them in terms of the kind of revenue that they get off of this?
Well, that's something that we'd be negotiating with them. But to start, our initial is that they would receive all of the revenue when it comes to the stadium itself or anything football, Bears related. Definitely revenue when it comes to the other sources like concerts and things, but a piece of things like concerts and non-football would be arranged to be part of making the payments to pay back the cost of the stadium.
Okay.
All right, so what he said right there, what's good, Il Divino Mike? What's good with you, man? Hope all is well with you. Hope you're having a great day. This man said $7 billion stadium. The Bears are trying to make a $4 billion stadium. Portage, Indiana mayor had made a proposal for $7 billion, $5 billion, plus $2 billion of sinking funds. Holy cow. And Indiana is willing to spend and build everything at their dime. That is insane. That's different. I'm not going to lie to you. That's just different. PVG said, that's a tough situation. Sounds like Chicago has the money, but not the demographics land-wise to increase market value. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm sorry, my son says that a lot when he's talking to me, my youngest, he'd be like, and yeah, so sorry if I say it like that. He's my inspiration. But not only that, Indiana is like Chicago downtown is out of the question. It's done. The Bears are not going to be in downtown Chicago. They're not even going to be in Chicago. They're going to be in the suburbs. Arlington Heights is the goal. This is exactly where the Bears want. They want to be in Arlington Heights. That's what they want. That is their preference. You know what I'm saying? But they're starting to reach out now. They're starting to listen to offers and proposals. And things are getting real. This is, again, from Austin Bonta, the mayor of Portage, Indiana. 100% profit will go to the Bears, he said. When it comes to the Bears games, it's 100% the Bears keep the money. They will have to pay an undisclosed amount for non-Bear events, to repay the state for building this $7 billion stadium. Now, there's where the trickiness, where if I'm the Bears owner or the president, if I'm Kevin Warren, I'm like, all right, I can have a state build this $7 billion stadium for me. You know what I mean? In the short term, that is huge. You know what I'm saying? Even in the mid-range to long, that's huge. But if you're talking about like the long run, the purpose of the stadium so you can host events and you obtain all the money for the events. You know what I'm saying? The event has to pay you rather than having to pay the state. And that's the issue with Soldier Field. The Bears don't own Soldier Field. It's a park district, like I said in the previous video and on Il Divino's podcast. So they don't get any money when it comes to, like, they keep the revenue obviously and stuff like that. But when it comes to, like, the stadium itself, they're not making the full amount of money. They have to give a percentage to Chicago for it. Now, when you build your own stadium via Arlington Heights, you get to keep everything, all right? You get to keep tickets without having to give anything to the state of Illinois. You get to keep merchandise without having to give anything to Illinois. You can host NCAA tournaments where the NCAA is going to have to pay you the money to be hosted in Arlington Heights in the Bears' new stadium. They're going to have to pay you and give you directly a percentage rather than I have to give a percentage to the state. It's sort of like I'm still, even though the state purchased this stuff, $7 billion worth, if it's a non-Bear event, I still have to pay a tax to pay off the loan of Indiana purchasing and building this state-of-the-art stadium for you. That's where it kind of turns me off right there. I'm not going to lie to you. If I'm the Bears, I want Arlington Heights because I keep everything. Yeah, I have to put up a lot of money to build this stadium on my own, but I could host WrestleMania. I could host March Madness. I could host a Super Bowl. I could host concerts, big time not just small concerts. I'm talking about big time, mega concerts. You know, the big time stars, you know what I'm saying? Pop stars, whatever, the country music artists, hip hop, R&B. No, R&B is not really big no more, but you get the gifs. You can have all that stuff and all that money staying with you. As to Indiana, if you do those type of events, you have to pay back the money that they put in their pockets to pay for your stadium. It's a tough decision, bro. It's a tough decision. It really is. But also, if I'm the Bears, I'm not paying $325 million in taxes a year. You lost your mind if you think I'm paying 7% off a unbelievable state-of-the-art stadium. You have lost your mind if I'm paying that much. Like, there's no point. Like, how long will that suffice? You know what I mean? It might last 10 years, 20 years, but how long will it really last? That's the true question right there. And that's where I'm kind of turned off at the end of the day when it comes to Illinois side of things. So Illinois needs to get a sense of urgency, and they need to start making it fair and reasonable. And the best way to look at it is look at all the new stadiums. Look at the Vegas Raiders. Look at SoFi Stadium. Look at all the new stadiums that are made and see what they're being taxed. And the Bears should be taxed a similar number to those stadiums. Point blank, period. But Illinois, the leaders of Illinois, they want as much money as possible. And if they mess around, they're going to mess up, straight up. They're going to mess up and lose the Bears out of Illinois. I don't think anybody wants that. PVG said, do you think that's a fair deal? Sounds like the Bears would only profit during football season, if I'm understanding correctly. That's 100% correct, Prince. They will only profit 100% 8 to 10 games. There's only, 17 games in a season. Only half of those are home games. So you're talking about 8 to 10 games, including the playoffs, if you make the playoffs, that you get to keep 100%. Everything else, you're going to get taxed, whether it's the tax for the stadium, or even though Indiana's like, oh, you don't have to pay taxes. I have a hard time believing it after I heard a couple of the other mayors speaking, especially the one in Hammond, Indiana. We're going to get to that in a little bit. But yeah, PR people, Illinois needs to wake up 100%. No doubt about it. All right. But the Mayor Austin thinks they have a real competitive offer. You know why? Let's take a look at what he says. Let's listen.
Absolutely. Again, the Bears looking at Northwest Indiana is real because Northwest Indiana really is part of the Chicagoland area. I mean, the idea of looking at Portage, it's real because there are already people who live in Chicago and commute to Portage. There are people who are in Portage that commute to Chicago. We know the travel time. I can tell you that we could use a lot more people coming by train, and I think that this would be a huge boost for the train when it comes to people taking that to get to our site. I can tell you that people loving to come to the water in our Portage beaches, that's real. And so I think that really the Bears coming, it only is an enhancement of movement that already happens to the city of Portage.
All right, so the mayor's like, hey, people in Chicago come over here to Portage, Indiana anyway to visit our beaches and stuff. We have about 3 beaches out there, and we have people already that come. You don't think they're going to come for a Bears game? They'll still come for a Bears game. It's only 50 minutes out. It's kind of similar. Arlington Heights about 45 to 50 minutes out from downtown Chicago. So there's not really a distance in difference when it comes to Arlington Heights to Chicago from Portage, Indiana to Chicago. So that's his pitch. That's his proposal. And taxes, nobody. No one has to pay extra taxes. It is state land. We will build it ourselves. You can have that land. You can keep 100% of your profits, anything Bears related events. Anything else, we're going to need a percentage because you have to pay back $7 million or $7 billion. If I'm the Bears, I ain't going to lie. I don't want to be in debt. $7 billion, dog. You know how long that's going to take to pay off? You must have lost your mind. I'm cool. I'm Gucci. I'm just saying, I'm Gucci on that. I'm not trying to pay back. I'd rather pay it up front, and I don't have to worry about nothing but taxes now. I think that's the way to go, and that's why I feel like Arlington Heights is the key. But Illinois needs to lock in on this tax, on this state tax. Let's see what chat has to say. PR people said facts. PVG, he said, if the Bears went to the Super Bowl this year, this would be a totally different conversation. 100%, Prince. Illinois wouldn't even let it get to Indiana. The lawmakers in Illinois would be like, we got to come with a deal right now. You know what I'm saying? Like right now. And that's the unfortunate part of Illinois and the leaders and the lawmakers of Illinois, man. They are, in my point of view, corrupt. All right. They're all about the money, and they spend the money in very suspectful ways, if you get my gifs. All right. It's very sus. It's very sus. PR people says Portage Bears going to get that porridge. Hey, it's very possible. All right. Now I have one more thing for you guys. the mayor of Hammond, Indiana. Everyone that's from Chicago knows about Hammond, Indiana. All right. Mayor Thomas McDermott Jr. He had a conversation as well, too, with the Chicago Bears. I'm going to briefly get into it because our time is almost up. Hammond has the attention of the Illinois lawmakers. Indiana is a real threat, as we know from what the mayor from Portage and Arlington Heights have said already. The Bears were interested in Hammond, and it's crazy because the Bears approached Hammond, Indiana. Hammond, Indiana didn't be like, hey, the Bears are having issues, let's give a proposal to them. The Bears went to Hammond, Indiana and said, look, see you got this land here, a nice little golf course, a lot of green area. What do you think about knocking that all down and making it a Bears town? Ooh-wee! We talking about hotels, restaurants, not just simple hotels. We talking about 20-story high, 30-story high hotels. We talking about the top of the notch restaurants, cuisines, apparel stores, etc., etc., etc. A complete Bears town. All right. Not only that, but before I get to that, all right, my thing is this: what's the funding looking like for taxpayers in Hammond? This is where the inconsistencies start happening between different mayors on different towns. Listen to this, guys. This is, again, the mayor of Hammond, Indiana, Thomas McDermott. This is what he says about the taxpayers in Indiana. Take a gander.
But, I mean, I think that if the Bears choose Indiana, the taxpayers will be, to some extent, supporting the stadium. I mean, it'd be naive to say otherwise. The state of Indiana has to be involved in a project of this magnitude for it to happen. If the state of Indiana wasn't involved in Lucas Oil Field in Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Field would have never been built. And just like if this is going to happen and the Bears are going to build their next Soldier Field in Hammond, Indiana, it's got to be through the state's assistance.
All right, let's stop it right there. He said, I don't see a way that we build a new stadium in Indiana without the taxpayers' money. All right? He says, I don't see a way without that being happening because we built Lucas Oil Stadium and we needed the taxpayers of Indianapolis to build that building up with their money. It's not realistic. Oh, let's continue what the mayor of Hammond has to say now.
And I've heard other proposals that rely on private money. And I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I seriously doubt that's ever going to come to fruition, a $5 billion deal without state money.
I don't see it possible. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't see it being possible of the Bears building a state-of-the-art stadium without the help of the taxpayers' money. Okay. He spoke some truth that no one else in Indiana spoke. Everybody else in Indiana was saying tax-free. It ain't going to harm nobody. The only person that said that has kept his word through everything is the mayor from Arlington Heights. He said he will not raise taxes up for the Bears to build a stadium for all the residents in Arlington Heights. Why? Because the Bears will finance the stadium on private property. That is the big difference right there. Private property, I'm building it myself with my money. State is giving me 300 acres of land out there in Indiana. We'll build it for you. $7 billion, $3 billion more than what Arlington Heights has to offer. But the residents are going to have to pay more taxes than what they're paying right now. That's going to be a huge deal breaker for the lawmakers of Indiana. And that's the best thing. I think that's the best thing the Illinois lawmakers have heard. I think that gives serious hope for all the lawmakers in Illinois. Like, we need to really get this done. But here's the weird part. All right. He says Chicago Bears forever. Forever, ever? Money talks, BS walks, 100%. 100%. All right. Here's the weird part, though. All right. Here's the. Yeah, all right. Let's take a gander. All right. Roger Goodell went to the land the Bears can move to in Hammond, Indiana, and he toured the land. All right. That's a big deal. You got the commissioner of the National Football League. He went out of his way to tour Hammond, Indiana, and where the Bears can possibly be at. That right there is telling you how much a threat Indiana can be. But there is still hope for Arlington Heights and Illinois to lock it in. They just need to bring down that tax roughly $300 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to bring it down $300 million. You can't be that greedy, all right? Will it be great for the Hammond community to host the Bears? Yeah, of course. The mayor of Hammond, Indiana, he said it so many times in that interview, how much he loves Chicago. He said in Hammond, Indiana, we're Bulls fans. We're Bears fans. And I know there's Sox fans over there too, because it's the closest one. But a lot of them are Cub fans out there as well. All right. He said we don't like the Indiana Pacers in Hammond, Indiana. We don't root for the Indianapolis Colts in Hammond, Indiana. We root for the Bears. And Hammond, Indiana, it's about 20 minutes, 25 minutes tops from downtown. It's not that far. It's really not that far. But it's like a seesaw battle. It's a straight seesaw battle. Prince said, so Indiana will have the Colts and the Bears? Sheesh. Yeah, they can. They really can. Indiana is looking more real by the day. But even the mayor said they are still the underdogs, all right? And then he also said, I don't see the Bears going anywhere outside of Hammond, Indiana. He said it's either Hammond, Indiana or nothing, Indiana, all right? That's what the mayor said himself. He said, I don't see Portage getting the Chicago Bears. They could give all the proposals they want. I believe that's too far. He doesn't believe anywhere else in Indiana is going to get. He said the spot that makes the most sense is Hammond, Indiana. It's closer to downtown Chicago. We can build state-of-the-art facilities. We just got to get rid of the green, and we got to get rid of the golf course, and it'll be a Bears town completely. But the taxpayers and the residents, they're going to have to pay taxes, and he needs the majority of taxpayers to give it an okay. He said 51%, hey, I'll think about it, but those aren't numbers I'm willing to make moves with. I need at least 60% of residents to give the thumbs up for the Bears to move to Hammond, Indiana. That's another part we need to realize. The residents of Hammond, Indiana have a vote, and they have a say in what they want, if they want the taxes up, if they want the Bears here or not. So not only do they have to go through Indiana lawmakers, but they have to go through the residents as well too in order for it to be confirmed. Now, Arlington Heights, same thing, but the majority is already like yes in Arlington Heights. It's not everybody, but the majority, I think it's over, when I last checked, it was like 78% of people saying they want the Bears in Arlington Heights. To the point, I think it was today, there was pitchforks and shoe shorts. I don't know what this is called, but there was a protest about having the Bears come to Arlington Heights. Arlington Heights is protesting for the Bears to come as we speak. They're protesting the state, as they should. It's going to be interesting, man. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting time. If you're a Bears fan, I want to know, what do you think? If you were the president of the Chicago Bears, what makes more sense to you? Is it let Indiana pay for all of it, but then I have to pay it back? Or I want to pay for everything up front and I don't have to pay nothing but tax, property tax, which should be fair to other NFL stadiums across the country. Let me know in the comment section down below. My friends, thank y'all so much. This, my friends, is Pin from the Pin Zone. We'll see what it do. I'm excited. I will keep you informed as this story progresses. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Share it with a friend. Make sure you give it a like. Hit the hype button if it's there. Till the next time, my filthy animals. I love y'all, man. Pin is back. I'm glad to be back. I'm happy to see y'all. Thank you, Prince and Mike, for attending this live. This is going to post like a regular video as well, too, so anyone could tune in. So make sure you share it to whoever you want to share it. Anyone you know who's talking about the Bears or whatever, let me know and tell them in the comment section down below. What would you do if you're the president? This, my friends, it's Pinpoint Gaming, baby. One love. You know?